First up is the media's reaction to Donald Trump's new press secretary, Karoline Leavitt. The left pretends to be a champion of women until they find one who is a conservative. Once that happens, they love nothing more than tearing down women with the most petty and vacuous of insults.
Karoline Leavitt just tore into Whoopi Goldberg on national TV. And it wasn't pretty. Do you ever wonder what happens when raw conservative energy meets mainstream media head-on? Aren't you tired of seeing loud voices go unchallenged on daytime TV? Subscribe now for the unfiltered truth they don't want you to hear. Because this clash just changed the game. Imagine a regular morning on The View. The coffee's hot, the opinions are hotter, and Whoopi Goldberg is leading the charge with her usual liberal takes. The hosts are in sync, throwing around familiar jabs and half-baked critiques. But suddenly the energy shifts. Enter Karoline Leavitt, the youngest White House press secretary ever, conservative powerhouse, and clearly not here to play nice.
Leavitt appears to be a fierce operator, but she's also 27 and arguably quite glamorous. So of course, the kind and progressive voices at The View reacted to her appointment like this.
From the jump, the clash is electric. Whoopi rolls her eyes and throws shade. You can say whatever you want about Trump, but the man talks in circles. It's word salad. That's just facts. Leavitt, unfazed, cuts through it all. You call it word salad, but millions of Americans call it common sense. That's why they voted for him. Twice. The tension is instant. The audience murmurs. The co-hosts shift. Karoline doubles down. These women on The View are wildly out of touch with the American people. You mock Trump for rambling, but you ramble in circles about feelings while ignoring facts. Leavitt didn't just survive the liberal lion's den. She flipped the table. Calm, calculated, and clearly in control of the room.
I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though, it's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
The conversation took a sharp and unexpected turn when the co-hosts of The View shifted from political debate to personal critique. After Karoline Leavitt held her ground on policy and defended her administration with facts, the discussion veered into uncomfortable territory. Rather than countering her arguments with substance, a co-host posed a loaded question. Why is a mother of a 7-month-old even working right now? The irony wasn't lost on viewers. From a panel that routinely champions female empowerment and work-life balance, this jab struck many as deeply hypocritical. Social media quickly erupted. One viral tweet read, "So y'all praise Beyoncé for touring while parenting 3 kids, but Karoline Leavitt is irresponsible for working in the White House." Hypocrisy on full display. Another user added, "Karoline is showing young women what real balance looks like. The View is showing them outdated, sexist shame." Working mom power conservative commentator Ali Beth Stuckey also condemned the segment, calling the remarks embarrassingly anti-feminist.
She may be, but my point is that job would not maybe have been open to her.
No, I understand. I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah.
And the abuse continued.
I would like this young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Karoline responded calmly yet firmly. "I would reject that you can't be a good mom and a great professional at the same time." In one sentence, she dismantled the guilt narrative and reminded the audience that strength comes from choice, not judgment. As Karoline Leavitt dismantled the panel's arguments point by point, Whoopi Goldberg attempted a retreat, lobbying vague lines like "Trump rambles too much" and "Biden's good at this, he's been around." But none of it landed. Leavitt, calm and composed, redirected the conversation with laser focus. This isn't about personalities, it's about the facts, the policies, and the future we're shaping for our children. While Whoopi and Joy Behar exchanged awkward chuckles and dismissive glances, Karoline stayed poised. She didn't resort to personal attacks or theatrics. Instead, she leaned into conviction and clarity. "I'm doing this work for my son and for all children in this country," she said firmly, silencing the panel. It wasn't just a political point, it was a mission statement. Respectful yet resolute, Leavitt showed that real strength isn't loud, it's unshakable. But hold up, things took a bizarre turn. When Karoline Leavitt questioned The View's portrayal of conservative women and motherhood, the show veered off the rails into full-on conspiracy chaos. Joy Behar, never one to shy away from outlandish theories, went so far as to suggest Elon Musk was somehow conspiring to push Trump down a flight of stairs. Yes, you read that right. Karoline's response was swift and clear. Absolutely not. Let me be unequivocally clear. That's insane. The moment set social media ablaze. News outlets quickly picked up the clip. Fox News labelled it liberal daytime television's tinfoil moment, while the Daily Caller declared, "The View officially jumped the shark. Whoopi, Joy, and the gang have lost the plot." Even CNN felt the need to backtrack, claiming that statements made during political satire should not be taken as factual claims. But by then, the damage was done. The internet had captured every second, and Karoline had emerged with the moral high ground. As far as the public was concerned, the left had truly lost its grip on reality, and Karoline was more than ready to call it out. Karoline Leavitt didn't just leave her message at The View, she took it straight to the airwaves. That one line exploded across TikTok, becoming the battle cry for working mums everywhere. Women shared their own morning routines, school drop-offs, and late-night grind sessions, all under the hashtag #ForMyKids. The movement had officially gone viral, with Karoline's words resonating deeply. Meanwhile, Whoopi attempted to backtrack on The View, claiming her remarks had been taken out of context. But by then, the internet had already spoken. Mums across the country weren't buying it. Karoline's real talk moment had cut through the noise, reshaping the conversation. The culture had shifted, and the country was watching. Then came the culture curveball that nobody saw coming. The political drama spilled into the celebrity world, and the NBA wives were not staying quiet. Savannah James, wife of LeBron James, posted on Instagram, "Working mums are superheroes, period. Whether you're in DC or in the gym, you're holding it down." Shortly after, Aisha Curry echoed the sentiment on Twitter. "Mums don't need your judgment, we need your support." That's when everything changed. What started as a fiery moment on The View turned into something much bigger. A cultural flashpoint. Karoline Leavitt's message hit home for women across all walks of life. No matter their politics, women recognized the attack for what it was. Outdated, judgmental, and hypocritical. TikTok lit up. One post pulled in over 3 million views, boldly stating, "Karoline Leavitt didn't just win an argument, she became a movement." Influencers, mothers, and media personalities alike rallied behind her. What began as a political skirmish had morphed into a full-blown women's empowerment wave, and Karoline was riding high at the front of it. At the core of this controversy lies a powerful revelation. When conservative women speak boldly, legacy media doesn't applaud. It panics. The same networks that celebrate female empowerment when it aligns with their agenda suddenly switch to shame and smear when the woman holding the mic is holding traditional values too. Karoline Leavitt didn't just silence Whoopi, she cracked open the double standard. As she stated in a follow-up interview, "Real feminism is about choice, and I choose to be both a mother and a leader." The reaction? Overwhelming. A Rasmussen poll revealed 63% of Americans viewed Karoline more favorably post-interview. Social media lit up. One wrote, "Karoline walked into the lion's den and left with pride." Another fan said, "She's what every young conservative girl needed to see." Courage, class, and conviction. Even non-political users chimed in. One fan noted, "You don't have to agree with her politics to respect the poise she showed under fire." This wasn't just a debate. It was a moment. And Karoline owned it. So, what's the real takeaway here? Karoline Leavitt didn't need to shout, she didn't need to tear people down, and she didn't rely on a crowd to validate her words. She simply spoke the truth, and that hit harder than anything thrown at her on that stage. This wasn't just another TV segment. This was a cultural reckoning. It was a direct message to the elites, influencers, and self-proclaimed feminists who think empowerment is something handed down from the top. True empowerment, it's lived every day by women like Karoline Leavitt. So now the question is, who's really winning? Karoline or the self-appointed daytime queens? We want to know what you think. Was Karoline in the right? Did Whoopi meet her match? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We're reading them all. And don't forget to subscribe for all the latest celebrity drama, trending moments, and behind-the-scenes tea you won't find anywhere else. Stay tuned for more, and as always, keep your gossip hot and your opinions hotter.